If you are telling me that you're going to re-elect Ruto because he gave Baba a lift from the hotel to the venue of the AUC election, there's something very wrong with you. There's people who are telling us that they will vote for Raila, for Ruto, to spite those two mamambogas who are singing that they were happy in Karatina. Two mamambogas at a market in Karatina who are singing and saying they're happy that Baba lost. Now people tell us we vote for Ruto to punish those people. What sort of sense is that? That is not common sense. It is absolute absurdity. I want to tell William Ruto that the only reason he will be re-elected, because everybody knows that even him pretending to front Raila, because Raila himself has told us that he did not ask Ruto to support him. And when he announced that he was going to run for this thing, it was of his own volition. He said it himself. If there is somebody lying to Ruto, because everybody knows this was supposed to be a ruse, to try and come and blackmail, because he knows people love Baba. He knows people love Baba. So he comes and tells us, oh, I supported him, I helped him, I did this for him, and this and that, so that he blackmails Raila supporters emotionally, because we like when people do good things for Baba and when they honor him. But what has he done for us as a people? The people who are going to vote in this particular election will be asking those questions. Let me finish by saying that Ekuru has made a prediction here that there will be a referendum. Ekuru doesn't know how Ruto fears the people. Ruto cannot dare to put a referendum question to the people of Kenya right now. And in fact, I said yesterday, it is an insult to Raila Odinga to tell him that you can bring a constitutional amendment to put a seat for Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga fought for this constitution not because it was going to create a seat for him. He wanted us to live in dignity. He wanted us to live in a country where we are free. So you cannot tell us that you will bring a referendum to do what? To support a constitutional change to give Raila a seat. As I've said, Raila is not idle. He has things to do. He is a father. He is a husband. He is a grandfather. He is a party leader. He's a leader of the opposition. So he has things to do, Trevor. He's not idle. And I've said it here myself previously, that when Raila wants something, he will use his own mouth to tell us. There are messages that are too important to send agenda. I am telling you, if Raila wants to support Ruto in 2027, he will not send agenda. For heaven's sake, that is a message too important to be left to agenda, or in fact any other person. He will tell us himself. And I am telling you, I will respect his decision. If he says he's going to support Ruto, I will respect that decision. But I am telling you, and I have said it, I will tell him, I've told him, that because as SG of ODM, I have a global view of the country. I get calls from Tana River. This guy does not know. If you ask him to tell me the chairperson of ODM in Tana River, Oscar Kaseme speaks to me and he tells me in Tana River, people are saying, even if you support Ruto, you will fail. I get calls from Kericho, from Turkana. You know, that is the reason why I am convicted, because these are not things I just come up with in my head. I have a global view of the country. I have networks across the country. Okay. People tell me, I call my chairperson in Nyandarua, and I ask him, were those two people who are singing in Karatina, do they reflect the view of the people in Nyandarua? And he says no. Okay. So, Tom Ojienda oscillates between Muhoroni and Kondele. I have a global view of the country. He doesn't speak to the people in Kwale. Okay. So when I say these things, I know my sources, Trevor. All right. We want to make it very clear.
Trevor,
I deserve a right of response. No, there's something he said. There's something he said finally here, that Edwin Sifuna will support Ruto. Yes. In that booth, I want you to bring your cameras on the day of the election. Yes. Personally, there is no way I can support Ruto. There is no way.
Okay. One of your members, George Aladwa, said something. Let's listen to what George Aladwa and Anthony Olwoj said.
We panga mambo hii kidogo ya hapa na pale ya 2027 kura itafuatana kuruka. Sisi tuko nyuma yako, umetembea na baba, tumeona Jumamosi, last week tumeona, na hiyo ni heshima kwa ndugu yako mkubwa. Na unapotembea ndugu yako mkubwa na mwingine anacheka, wewe cheka, na 2027 tutachekana na wewe. Na nawakumbusha wale ODM wanaongea huko kando kando, waongee tu, lakini sisi ODM original, Rais ni William Samoei Ruto.
If there is one reason why I am associated with the president, mimi mambo ya 2027 watatupanga na baba wakisema tutafuata. Watatupanga na wale watu wanasema AU sijui nini, wakitupanga na baba 2027 hiyo tutafuata.
wakisema tutafuata na Ladwa is your Nairobi County.
Correct. So let me just reiterate. Let me just reiterate.
I'll give you a chance.
My condole people.
Yeah.
But
let me.
I must have a right of response to his allegations.
Yeah. When you respond, tell us who's the chairman of Third Way Alliance. I have told you, Trevor. There are messages too important to be left with a Ladwa.
That is the chairman.
That's what I'm telling you, and I'm the SG. And I've said in ODM, everybody will be allowed to say their piece. Aladwa has 1 vote, Sifuna has 1 vote. Let him cast his vote for Ruto. I will not cast my vote for Ruto. It is that simple. This is the democracy that we enjoy in ODM. Let him speak. And you see, the thing that amuses me is that these guys will run around saying all sorts of things. They say, oh, we will support Ruto. When Sifuna says he will not support Ruto, suddenly they cry for months. Like after this show, they'll be wailing for a month, saying, oh, how can Sifuna say this? I have a mouth. Just like Aladwa's mouth. In fact, we are the same because he's a Luya like me. Aladwa can say things because he has the democratic freedom to say those things. If he has decided that he's going to vote for Ruto in 2027, that is up to Aladwa. He knows what he's getting out of there. But I cannot, for heaven's sake, reconcile my conscience to support a regime that is killing our people, a regime that has destroyed lives, a regime that has destroyed the economy, destroyed the livelihoods of Kenyans. So, up to them. Let everybody make a decision. That is why they give you an individual ballot. They don't bring all the ballots to the SG to vote for them. Everybody will cast their vote. I have made up my mind on how I'm going to cast mine. Let everybody cast their ballots and live with their conscience.
Okay, Ekuru, you are interested.
Listen,
and
I'm not going to go down to the trivialities of what Sifuna.
No, tell us who your chairman in Nairobi is.
Listen,
how can it be that way?
That's a very trivial issue, Sifuna. We are talking about bigger issues.
Yeah, start with the small ones.
Yes. No. Listen, I'll tell you this. As a matter of fact, your party is transactional.
Tell us who your chairman in Nairobi is.
You are tumbocrats.
You have a chairman?
Yes, we do.
Who?
We do. In fact,
what is his name?
You know, you are betraying even your
You don't know your own chairman's name, brother. You don't have a chairman in Nairobi.
Is that really?
The entire party is Ekuru Aukot. Talk about your party. For heaven's sake, promote your own party.
Sifuna, if you are to just invoke maybe your legal research methods,
I'm not doing a research paper.
No, I'm telling you.
You just speak about Third Way Alliance. Let him talk about Third Way Alliance. Are you going to vote for Ruto? Those are the issues we want to discuss.
Whether I vote for Ruto or not, you are talking about 2027. We are talking about the daily struggles that Kenyans are going through today.
Let's talk about those.
Including the fact that, and I agree to you to the extent that this is a failed regime, but you are fraternizing with it. Stop this pretense that ODM is an independent party, you have 5 million. You've never won an election. As I said in my opening statement, yeah? Just like me, I also lost 1 election. But how many elections?
When you are running,
yes,
when you are running alone, you are the only opposition party and you lost.
I have lost 1 election, Trevor.
Do you still hold the ground that President William Ruto will lose the election in 2027, even with support from Raila Odinga?
First, campaigns have begun. I don't know what the Deputy President is talking there. He's addressing a rally, a political rally. They have already begun campaigns for 2027. Let me say one thing about what my colleagues have said. I will answer your question. As senators, really, there are things that I don't expect a senator to say. If the document says, Hillary, that we must protect devolution so that there are no clawbacks, if the national government wants to undertake county functions, there is a procedure.
CDF.
There is a procedure for that. You cannot be supporting it, and yet you are sworn to defend devolution, devolved units, and their governments. Thirdly, Trevor, if indeed Ojenda was honest about dealing with the question of marginalization, there is a fund established under this constitution called the Equalization Fund. He would be pushing for the national government to honor its obligations under that particular fund, so that all of us who have faced marginalization, and I've said, all of us who support Raila Odinga, we have been marginalized, and Raila Odinga is the leader of all of us. Let us also not forget William Ruto's role in that marginalization. In the past 10 years, it is this same William Ruto who was Deputy President of the Republic. So when that marginalization was happening, as they are saying these days, how has he suddenly become clever? Where was he in 2013, 2020, when all these road projects were being taken to these other areas? When we in ODM were being marginalized by the Jubilee administration under his stewardship together with the former president, where was this cleverness? Where was this cleverness that we are hearing from here? Now, to your question, No. Lastly, there is something he said here that the president has championed the devolution. Last year, in fact, it was the last financial year. We were shocked as a Senate. We passed a bill, the Division of Revenue Bill, allocating 385 billion Kenya shillings to county governments. The president brought it back with a memorandum suggesting that we as a Senate cut that allocation back to 380. This is the same president who stood up recently and said, awachiwe barabara za county. The constitution under the fourth schedule defines two levels of roads, national roads and county roads. A supporter of devolution cannot stand up and say, muniwachi hizi barabara. Hilary, let us be honest even in these discussions, that if there is an enemy of devolution, you say this is an enemy of devolution because of his own conduct and his words. If it were not for us as a Senate to stand up and say we cannot send money that is less than what we had allocated, even in the previous financial year, counties would not have gotten this 387. That was not William Ruto. It was me as a senator sitting in the mediation committee with the National Assembly fighting for those resources as I swore to do. To your question, Trevor, ODM, we have said repeatedly, including as recently as when we were in Mombasa for an event there with Honorable Raila Odinga, that ODM exists to fight for political power in these democratic processes. We still intend, we have not given up our quest to lead this country. So we will be in the field to face whoever it is else will be there, including President William Ruto. And the natural consequence of that is we will make him a one-term president because we want to grab that power from him, so that we can do the things that we are saying we believe in. That is my straight answer. And it doesn't matter how cleverly you people frame this question. My views are never going to change, Trevor, because I still continue to receive feedback that even with this so-called,
call it broad-based. There is no harm. Call it broad-based.
This so-called development tours. He is still facing a lot of resistance. Tom Ojenda, my brother, let us focus on software issues as well. You know, I was explaining to Oburu because he said, which other rights do you want, you people? If you have gotten roads, if you have got... That's not all it is about, you know. There are software issues in this country. I have said here that we want a democratic state, and which is what this document says. Unaona, Trevor, these people don't want to read this document, or they don't want me
but I've read it.
A nation will not develop without reinforcing democratic governance and the rule of law. My brother, democratic governance is such that you cannot go after the BBC for just telling you that this is what happened. Why are you arresting young people for producing a film about events that we all saw? I was there in Parliament. Those things happened. The BBC is not fabricating anything. And in fact, all your media houses, including Citizen TV, covered these events. So why are you arresting people for just expressing themselves? That is running contrary to this document.
Okay. Yeah. So you're confirming that ODM will field a presidential candidate?
I am saying this political party called ODM exists for only one sole purpose. We are not like Third Way Alliance, which exists to go to court. We exist to compete for political power. So ODM has not given that up. In 2027, we will field candidates for all positions.
A good one to be is
just a comeback.
Hello guys, so those are some of the interviews that I found relevant to the future of ODM in the eyes of Sifuna. If you guys like it, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and tell me what do you think about the future of ODM. Until we meet next time with another interview, peace out and have a good day.